Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo Story. 2 months after the horrific rape and murder of a young doctor at RJ Kaur Medical College Hospital in Kolkata, another doctor has been targeted, this time in the national capital, in Delhi, at a nursing home in southeast Delhi. Two boys came to that nursing home for treatment. One of them had an injured toe, and they were there for dressing. After the dressing was done, one of them, in fact, entered to meet the doctor. Now, this doctor is a Unani uh, practitioner. Uh, he was there at his clinic. Dr. Javed Akhtar. They sort of interacted with him, and one of them took out a gun and shot him on his head. Yes, and you can see on that screen those shots of that area where that nursing home is located. This is that place. This is a small sort of a nursing home, Nima Hospital. Its name. It happened in the night. There were staff members present in the hospital. The doctor was there. The nursing staff were there, and these two boys, these two teenagers, had actually visited the doctor at the hospital a day before. One of them had an injured toe. There was dressing done on his injuries, and next day they returned and they wanted to meet the doctor, Dr. Javed Akhtar. They met him and they shot him, and that really created panic. All the other staff members reached the place and they found the doctor in a pool of blood. The police were called in, and samples have been collected from the spot and sent for forensics. But what is important is that this highlights the vulnerability of doctors. We saw it happening in Kolkata and now in Delhi. Why are doctors so unsafe? Why are they at the receiving end of people who are out to commit crimes and to target them? In fact, to speak more on this, we're joined by Dr. Brajesh Lahiri. He represents one of the Association of the Doctors. He's the General Secretary of FAIMA. Welcome to show, Dr. Brajesh Lahiri. You know, when one hears this news, the first thing when you heard it in the morning, there was anger. Everybody just feels so angry that these are doctors, they're just doing their job in the night out there to help people who need treatment. And then these two men come and they kill a doctor. What is your first reaction?
The first thing when I saw this news in the morning, I was very surprised, very shocked. 2 months back, the horrific incident occurred in Kolkata. The Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance. NTF was formed National Task Force, and we were really looking forward that something will happen, something positive will happen, and this thing occurring just 2 months after the incident in the national capital of the country. It shatters the trust of the doctors, of the healthcare workers, which we were trying to regain our faith in the judiciary, in the government after all that incident in the Kolkata. But this incident has again shattered everything, and we are again back to the square one. From where we started, we are again back to the same place where we don't know how will the doctors work, how will the nurses work. None of the healthcare workers are safe in the country. If we are not safe in the capital of the country, which is the center of power for the central government, what can I think about the periphery hospitals or periphery small town community hospitals, village centers, which are working thousands of kilometers away from the Delhi? I cannot even say to those people who are working that you will be safe. How can government say to them that trust us? If the government cannot take care of the trust of people who are working in the capital, they cannot think of people who are working in the periphery areas.
Right. And there's a lot of anger on the social media. We are in fact showing some of those reactions uh, that have been come that we're seeing on the social media. You can see on those posts that are being that are being sent out on the social media, there's a lot of anger. And this sort of targeting of doctors is not limited to a particular state or a particular area. It's happening everywhere. And you, as you put it rightly, in the national capital this incident takes place. Now one can imagine those areas which are not in media glare, which are far off, which are remote, what can be the condition of doctors and how vulnerable and unsafe the doctors would be feeling there. And it comes close on the heels of what's happened in Kolkata. The doctors have stopped working again, gone on a strike there because they are wanting security arrangements to be made for them. And it's taking so much of a time, despite the news being in headline for all these days and a nationwide outcry. What does one expect, Dr. Brijesh Lahiri? Do you think that wheels of justice will move and move faster, and at least an example will be set that such incidents are to an extent prevented in the future?
I think there is clearly a lack of determination from the side of government and the administration. If the government decides that we will catch hold of perpetrators, we will
Yeah.
pass stronger laws to safeguard our healthcare workers, it is not a tough task. It is clearly the lack of determination and the lack of willpower on the part of government. It doesn't matter who is in power, whether it's BJP, Congress, or any other party. It's clearly lack of determination from all the political parties. They don't want the healthcare workers to feel safe. They want them to remain as an easy prey for the what you say antisocial elements, so that
You know,
they
while
can
we're
catch
speaking,
hold of them easily.
we're also playing the shots of, the shots of Kolkata. You
Yeah,
see what's happened there. Entire state, outrage, and not just the state, but entire country. And the perpetrators have not been, you know punished is, whether it will take some time for them to be punished, but they have not been actually able to crack the case and get them, despite that this incident happened. And premier agencies of the country are investigating this case. Now this is the situation in Kolkata, in Delhi. This doctor was at his clinic in the night, you know available for all those who were wanting to come to that clinic for treatment. And these two men had come in the night. You can see on that screen, these are the reactions that we are playing up. This is the tragic state. Everybody is expressing anger and shock. You can see those reactions coming one by one. It is sort of unbelievable that people do not get any sense of fear. They say that they can get away with it. In the night, in the uh, nursing home of that doctor, they came and they shot him and they ran away. Now this is very shocking.
there is
law
one more point
enforcement
which
law enforcement agencies are out there. They will collect the samples, a case will be filed, but will those cases, are they being taken to their logical conclusion? If they are taken to their logical conclusion, then only an example can be set.
Yeah, here I would like to raise one more point that it's not an isolated incident. Since I am representing FEMA, which is we represent all the associations of all over the country, so we get complaints of attacks over the healthcare workers from all over the country. So I have a knowledge that 1 week back there was a similar incident whereas a junior resident in the Department of Surgery was attacked by a wrench, and he was attacked 4 times on a wrench. He was hit with it and he was severely injured. 2 weeks back, there were similar incidents in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. 1 month back, there was a similar incident in Bhavnagar, Gujarat, where the doctor just asked the patient's relative to remove the slippers before entering the intensive care unit. They denied
Yes,
and they attacked the doctor.
right.
So there are 4 or 5 incidents which have occurred in just last 1 month. So this shows that there has been no effect of national task force, no effect of central government's promises, no effect of the state government's promises. Nothing is working. I don't know what's the problem with the management of this thing,
And
administration and
also,
everything.
what's the problem of these people who go and attack the doctors? How scared and worried are you today?
Actually, I feel very worried and very scared whenever I treat a patient. The first thing which comes to my mind is whether this patient will attack me or not. If I get a vibe that this patient is hostile or his relatives are hostile, then inherently, or what I say, even if I don't try, the decision making capability.
On your screen, you saw those visuals of Kolkata. No, no, people have been protesting on the roads. They have been playing music. They have been sitting on dharnas. They have been doing everything that is possible to bring to the authorities, to bring across the message to the authorities that this is a very serious matter. This cannot be taken so lightly. But unfortunately, we're seeing politics happening over these issues. But the basic issue remains resolved. Where are those perpetrators? Why aren't they being taken to task? Why don't doctors get the security, the safety apparatus that they have been demanding for? And when you were saying that you are scared when you are meeting a patient, you don't know whether it will be a normal exchange or perhaps things can go out of hand. Now, this is the situation. This is the amount of fear that doctors like you have, and in the national capital. Of course, very alarming.
It's a very difficult situation. Whenever we deal with patients, we deal with hundreds of patients on day-to-day basis. So another one thing which we suggested to National Task Force also, that hospitals should be declared a safe zone like airports. So there should be metal detectors and everything so that patient cannot take any weapons inside the hospitals or clinics. That can be a way that we can feel a bit safer, but I don't know how NTF will take it, but we have given this suggestion.
But there are many suggestions that have been given by the doctors. Do you think that the authorities, that people who can take those decisions, take those suggestions seriously? Have some of them been actually implemented, taken up, and implemented, or there's a lot to be done?
National Task Force, as you know, it's a committee. So it will gather all the suggestions, make a report, then submit to Supreme Court, then Supreme Court will submit to the government, then government will take a decision. So it's a long process. I don't think it will take less than a year or so. So we demanded the government to take interim measures, but nobody decided to take any strong measures to safeguard the doctors. Meanwhile, the demands or the recommendations of National Task Force are implemented. If that would have been done, probably the situation would have been a bit different.
Right. All of these things get stuck in bureaucracy. But if you can spell out some of the demands that you have been raising over time.
Yeah. One major demand which was the government should pass a central protection law. What central protection law is? Make the attack on doctors or healthcare workers in a hospital a non-bailable offense. Make the FIR mandatory within 6 hours by the hospital administration. Catch hold of the perpetrators. Make a speedy trial for them and make them make them reach their end point as soon as possible so that the victims get the justice as soon as possible. First demand was that. Second demand was declaration of hospitals as safe zone. So that's another thing. Uh, Third point again, it's related to this that we demanded the support from all the political parties to raise the issue in the parliament to create some pressure on the ruling party and even the opposition also so that they can get this law passed as early as possible. These were our
You know,
three major demands.
Brijesh, what is most unfortunate is that these two boys or men or seem like teenagers, that's what police says, it's a targeted killing, entered into that nursing home disguising themselves as patients. One of them had a injured toe. So it was all done at disguise. It was a plot to capture that doctor and to kill him. This is most unfortunate.
Yeah, it was clearly a plot. They have pre-planned it and then they did it at their time of convenience when the doctor was alone, probably at night. They selected the target, they selected the time, and sadly, government is not doing anything. Delhi government and central government, they are just playing football, blaming one another for each other for this thing. Delhi government will say that Delhi police is not under us. Central government will say that Delhi government is not doing well. But at the end, doctors and healthcare workers are the one who are getting the most of the suffering in this thing.
It was a targeted killing. There was a plan. They had come a day before in the night. They had picked up their time. Now this they followed a plan and they killed that doctor. But the question is that what happens next? Will the law enforcing agencies, the police and other agencies quickly solve this case, solve this issue, and try and take those perpetrators to task? That's the big question. If it gets delayed on, the question is then people will not get that sense of confidence. You know what's happening in Kolkata. I again go back to Kolkata. There is a context, entire country enraged, angry of what happened in Kolkata. Now, the government has assured, if we can again show those shots of Kolkata, the government has assured, see, these are the doctors in Kolkata, ordinary citizens of that state who have been protesting. What they are demanding is that better security measures for them, better security apparatus, so that they feel a sense of safety, CCTV, basic things that have not been done, again got stuck in bureaucracy, and they are forced to go back to the means of stopping their work. What is the option that doctors have? The question is, doctors work in a different atmosphere. They have to, it's a public service. They are constantly dealing with people. They are in close proximity with people. They are not working in isolated chambers. They have to meet people. They have to meet patients. They have to meet attendants. There has to be a system. If people do not get that sense of uh, you know punish, that they will be punished if they target doctors, these things will keep on repeating, and we see laxity in system. The system is very slow in its responses, and that's why such incidents are repeating. Now this doctor in the middle of the night was trying to treat patients, and two men disguised themselves as patients entered his clinic, targeted him, shot him on his head, and left him in a pool of blood. Now this is the situation that is developing, and there's every reason for the doctors to feel enraged, and not just the doctors but ordinary people across the country. uh, dr Brijesh Lahiri, you can see this is Abhaya's statue. The young doctor who was gang raped, who was killed in Kolkata. It is, one gets so angry even while talking about this incident. Imagine what's happened there. Of course, this is the situation. People have a right, it's a democratic country. People have a right to ask questions that why isn't justice delivered? Right. So, in the end, Dr. Brajesh Lahiri, what sort of a punishment you want given to those perpetrators who have been committing these heinous crimes, be that in Kolkata or in Delhi or elsewhere in the country?
Anywhere like capital punishment is the only thing which we can ask for. Apart from this, I don't see anything which can be done which can set an example for other people. Unless these people get capital punishment, there won't be any example for the people and the perpetrators so that they won't repeat such things in future. There is no other way. There is no other.
Right. And perhaps, example need to be set, strong measures need to be taken so that people have that instills fear in the people not to target doctors. These are the people who are treating you, who are trying to, heal you. And those people are targeted. And in the night, these incidents taking place in the night, be that the incident in Kolkata or in Delhi, 55-year-old doctor shot dead inside the hospital. The most horrific thing to have happened. Of course, he was there only to treat them. They had disguised themselves as patients, and he was only trying to help them. He didn't know their plan, he didn't know their plot. They had come, they had done their recce, they had a proper plan, they had come to kill him. That was their plan, and he fell to their plan. It's clearly a wake up call for the agencies, for the law enforcing agencies, for all other uh, elements who are responsible, who have the power, and the people at large also to wake up to this reality. What doctors have been facing and going through, not just in Kolkata, in Delhi, and it could well also give some indication what could be happening in remote areas of the country which are not in media glare. It's happened in Delhi, so it's happened in the night and in the morning. This news was everywhere. The news was everywhere, and that is precisely the reason that we're discussing this. But had it happened in some remote area, it would take some time for the news to come out. So, as a doctor, what do you want should happen now?
I will suggest only one thing which we had demanded earlier also, that there should be interim measures from the government to take care of the safety of the healthcare workers, because the recommendations of the NTF and the Central Protection Law will take some time. So we want interim measures from the government to ensure our safety so that we can work without having a pressure and without worrying for our safety and without thinking whether we will be alive or not if we treat this patient or not.
Right. And of course, there is a reason that doctors are protesting and people are angry. It is time for the government to be serious at this issue, and also for the law enforcing agencies. And people also need to think about it, that these are doctors who are out there for your treatment day and night. They're working for your treatment, and they deserve better. They don't deserve to be killed and raped in the night when they are out to serve you, obviously. And the law enforcing agencies need to track down those criminals as soon as possible, take them to task and punish them. That can be the only way forward. But for now, we'll have to leave it here. Dr. Brijesh Larry, thanks so much for joining in, and thanks to our audiences for watching the Mojo Story.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.